Hey guys, I'm Farrahs and welcome back to the World of Madness. Now, I'm going to have, as you can tell from the title of this video today, is going to be a completely different sort of rant. Mainly to basically go through the effects of the last few weeks. Or the last week, sorry. So basically, I took last week off doing any videos, and the reason I did that is because I basically needed to see the sort of results of what would happen to the country I live in, which, for those of you who know me, I come from England, and I live in England, and last week, if you don't know, or you're too young to know, or your parents haven't told you about this stuff yet, then last week was the EU referendum. Now, if you don't know what that is, basically, it was deciding England's position as far as the EU is concerned. So basically, it was making the executive decision to decide whether England was in the EU, which we spent. By the way, for those of you who know history, you'll know that it took us years and a lot of fighting to actually become part of the of the European Union. And it genuinely took us ages because many countries didn't want us in. They thought we were too obnoxious and that sort of stuff. So basically, it took us ages to get in, and now that we finally got in, our public has voted for us to come out. Now, the way that the voting actually went is that the country was split basically in two. So we had, I think it was basically the majority was to leave. Now, the reason I'm making this video is because basically I voted to stay, and I'm going to be very open about it. I'm not going to bullshit. I'm not going to piss around with it. I voted to stay because I knew I actually had a general idea of what the repercussions of us leaving were. So I don't really want to be pissing about trying to explain my reasoning behind it, because at the end of the day, for me, being in the EU is a better idea, mainly for the company I work for, mainly for the job role that I have, where I live, who I go out with, you know. And the reason this is such a big deal for me is because I love Britain. I love Great Britain, and I love the United Kingdom. But these words... Oh, wrong keys. So, great and united is like that now. It is in quotation marks. And the reason I say that is because we basically went back in time. So the last time the country was this divided between sort of what to do with the country was probably last time we had a British Civil War, which was probably about 400 years ago. Now, a country's not a country like ours or like mine, because some of you obviously you know about what's happening. You don't know really how it's really affected everybody else. Now, the way it's affected me is that my company is now earning less money because we're a EU-based company where we earn our profits from the production of stuff across the EU. Now, we work for a place like my company works for things like Mars, which does all the Mars bar and Galaxy chocolates, and we also work for a company called Pernod Ricard, which does a lot of alcohols. We also have a lot of other companies now. I'm not going to go too much detail into that, but basically their main selling point and the way we actually got income was that we actually went through our money was in euro, like we brought in euros and we paid out in dollars. Now, because of this whole EU situation, we've basically it's caused us to drop our profit basically dropped because we're now paying out more than we're earning in, which is bad. That's bad for a company. Now, for those of you who have voted leave, like I'm not having the comments open for this video. Now, the reason for that is because this video is completely opinion-based. It's completely my opinion. I don't want disputes in my comment sections about why I pick these things. I want it to basically be, I'm going to just put my voice out there. I'm just going to say what I need to say, and we're going to leave it like that. And obviously, I'm going to do all that while playing Minecraft. because Minecraft is fun, and Minecraft basically taught me. See, this is another reason I really appreciate what Minecraft has done to the community in the world, and I think this is probably the best place to start to basically voice my reasoning and stuff. So, Minecraft was developed as a community-based game. It helped people build an understanding of how to survive. You know, it was a survival-based game, which caused people to start making servers. These servers had economies. These servers basically needed people to work together in order for the server to survive, and which is exactly the same sort of thing which is sort of the same thing of what happens with actual England's economy and stuff. Is in order for us to survive as a country, to live as a country, we needed people to work together. So we have taxes, we have everything like that. So we have taxes so we can have our healthcare. We have public services. We have all that stuff. So all the people which go, oh, there's no point in taxes. Now, just be clear, your taxes go to a lot. Now, this isn't. I'm not going based off of media. As far as I'm concerned, media sucks, right? And I am a huge, I hate media. I hate the news and I hate that sort of stuff. Now, I'm not one of those people which hates it because it's wrong or it's too big on the companies, but it's more a hate of it because they do like to pick and choose which news they present. Now, that's always been a problem for me because if you're presenting to a country and you're going, okay, what do we tell them? You should be honest. You should be honest about the repercussions. Now, nobody, throughout this entire EU referendum, nobody actually said what the repercussions could have been. Nobody predicted. Nobody even had like a little guess at what it was. Hence the reason I basically I didn't do any videos on this. I didn't do anything on it because I didn't want to start speculating and stuff. I've just dropped a pencil on my keyboard. Now, yeah. So, I didn't want to start speculating and stuff because at the end of the day, that would have been my opinion, and it wouldn't have mattered. Now, so really, I'm trying to do this based on sort of a logical sort of thinking, which is something I kind of I go for. I go for a logical thought pattern, and with that logical thought pattern, it's able to help people go into their own conclusions on what's happening. Now, as I said, I voted to stay. I voted to stay because I wanted to keep basically as this world develops. We've just spent the last probably 30 years in the EU, maybe 40 years, something like that. I don't know the exact dates, and we've just had the best 30-40 years of our lives. Our technology has advanced tenfolds. Our medical care has advanced tenfolds, and the way we actually work as a world has definitely advanced to the point where we went from being on the constantly on the verge of war to being off and talking about it. Now, if it wasn't for the EU, the majority of sort of the way we live nowadays, that wouldn't happen. We wouldn't have that. So all of our technology, all of our cars, everything we have is basically down to the EU and the support that it gave. Come on, chickens. I really need you guys to start doing stuff here. So basically, it gave us a huge opportunity to actually advance as a species. Now, what I don't mind the idea of Britain leaving the EU. I didn't want it, but there's nothing I can now do about it, so there's no point of just bitching and complaining about it. It's the repercussions which I have noticed which has caused me to actually talk about this today. If you're one of those people, now I'm not sure if those people watch my videos, and to be fair, as I'm not concerned. I'm not bothered if you're one of these people, because I am not leaving my comments open for this one. This is a discussion I don't want. I'm just going to leave it closed, and I'm also taking away the like and dislike button because basically I don't want people to hate because of my opinion. I want you to basically listen to my opinion and don't even intake my opinion if you don't want it. I'm not actually bothered, right? But at the end of the day, the way people have reacted to this is that they've basically seen it as a green light to come out of. Basically, they've gone. A very racist view has come about upon sort of England and how it's been reacting to other countries, other cultures, and all of that sort of stuff. Now, the reason this pisses me off massively is because I like the idea of an entire country made up of different civilizations, different cultures, that sort of thing. Now, this is why I liked living in Britain, because I was very happy to say I live in a country founded by immigrants, built on immigration, and all the others, right? England is literally a country where the majority, in fact, 100% of the English population is not English. We're made up of French, we're made up of German, we're made up of Danish, we're made up of Italian. We've got so many different cultures. And that was just starting. We've now, adopted different sort of cultures from other civilizations from, the Middle East, East Asia, all of those sort of places, which I find absolutely amazing. To the point where even the Western world, that's all of what the Western world knows and how it has developed as a civilization is the fact that they are built on different cultures, and that is what I found amazing about this world, is that we were finally getting to the point in our sort of lifetime where people could happily go, yes, I come from. Oh, I'm trying to think of an example. Yes, I come from. Oh, I'm trying to think of a good example. Yes, I come from Germany, and I'm happy to provide you with any resources which the Germany can provide to you. In fact, in a lot of cases, the human race would not have been able to progress without these sort of different cultures coming together as one sort of unit. And the reason I'm playing Minecraft while having this talk with you, and the reason I'm doing it on Minecraft, is because Minecraft is an excellent sort of base point to show where this sort of stuff works. The entire, people who sat and made Minecraft, that it wasn't just yes, it started with Notch, but Notch hired other people because of their knowledge and because of what they knew. And if it wasn't for that sort of knowledge and that sort of that coming together of other people, it would never be where it is today. And this is why I'm having this talk with you, is because the repercussions of what has happened has brought out the terrible side of people, which I do not like. And I'm going to be brutally honest. I don't like people like that. I don't like people who look at someone who is of different ethnicity and go, oh, look, they should go back to their own country. I think that is a terrible thing to say to anyone. And sadly enough, it happens. And I think it's absolutely horrifying. And I genuinely hate this world for being like that. I genuinely hate this country right now. I've known people who've been that way. If you don't mind, I'm googling how to make a dispenser, by the way. Dispenser Minecraft. There we go. So yeah, that's actually not what I wanted. It's not a dispenser, is it? It's a dropper. Fuck. Fudge. I'm pressing the back button too much. Right, dropper, Minecraft. That's not it either. Which one is it? Filter? Hopper! Frick. But yeah, as I was saying, so with the different sort of changes that, because of how England is, and because of, one sec, I'm trying to find, I can't find, where's the, Where is the hopper recipe? Where is it? I'm trying to find the hopper recipe, and I will find it. That's not it. Where is it? Right, I'm actually going to have to put Minecraft recipe. Come on! There we go. Oh, it's a chest. That's what I need. Okay, so as I was saying, so the reason I'm having such a problem with, and the reason I waited until now to basically say anything is because I didn't want people to start judging me before I start saying. But basically, the only way I was able to describe my thoughts and feelings towards this entire situation is through a media-based game. So a game where people are so used to it and so, you know, wanting of it that they should know by now what it is that is making this sort of difference in our community. Now, the problem that I've had is that people are like, and what I've seen and what has been happening, which I'm disgraced by, is that people are being openly offensive to people. Now, what pisses me off about that is the fact that these openly offensive people have seen this green light. Now, at the end of the day, this country is built on looking after each other. And for people to just openly do what they do, it's absolutely horrifying. And I don't get how people can sit there and do it to their fellow human beings. Because at the end of the day, right, this is what's going to happen. Say in 400 years, we are still in this backwards sort of mindset where we see each different culture on this planet as exactly that, as if it's a completely separate world. And with that completely separate world, people will most likely not work together. There'll be massive disputes between countries to the point where basically wars will break out. But say we as a species, we all of a sudden get visited by aliens. We get visited by aliens. They see us as a species. They're not gonna say they are one of those an alien species which decide we can easily take this planet from these pathetic humans. Let's wipe them out. Let's harvest these humans for their precious minerals. Say that entire situation happens. Right, at the end of the day, they're going to see us as one whole unit. Despite what our differences are, despite how we are as a community, how split we are, they're going to see us as one thing, as one entity. And they are going to go, we will take you all. We will harvest you all and turn you into lamb chops if we want to. Now, this might not happen. We might end up finding a different civilization and a different species, which we can communicate to the point where we can actually have a conversation with an alien species. Now, that won't happen in my lifetime. I know that for a fact. But it might happen in my great-great-grandchildren's lifetime. Now, if that's the case, I want my grandchildren to be able to sit there and not see this other species as a completely separate thing. I want them to be able to embrace it. I want them to be able to actually go up to, the idea of a community based on different actual, completely different species. Now, humanity's not species. Someone who's from, I'm trying to pick a random one. Right, someone who comes from England, right, and someone who comes from Africa, you say, right? We have two people here. We have two completely random, different people who, they look different, they sound different, and they act differently. Now, at the end of the day, they're still humans. They are still a part of this world, and they are still part of the sort of community that this world has. Forget if you tore away all the differences between us, we are exactly the same. So I don't see the point in this, in the racist backwards attitude that people have suddenly all developed. And to be fair, I don't want to be part of a community which becomes this. It's not right. And if you're one of those people which have voted now, I'm not saying anyone. I reckon my sort of fan base might either be too young to understand this, or to a point where they don't actually give a shit. Now, the reason I say this is because at the end of the day, I have to go into work and I have to deal with the consequences of other people's actions. And if you're outside, if you're walking around and you see someone be hurtful and offensive to somebody else because of the colour of their skin, the way they talk, the way they act, or their religion, I expect my fan base to run up and twat who's ever saying it, and just knock them down onto the ground, or at least have a go at them, saying, "How dare you say stuff like that? How can you be discriminative, against people who could possibly be, who are probably not from England anyway, because they have a heritage which has brought their family over to England. Someone who might, Britain was built on the idea of people working together from different countries. Now, I've also just spotted something, and I'm curious about something, so I might just quickly build something. But yeah, I expect my fan base to stick up for people if they're in danger. Oh, that's not right. Okay. So at the end of the day, this entire video is just me having a rant about how bad things have gotten. And for those of you who aren't in the UK, you're lucky. You really are. This is one of the biggest turning points in history for our country. You think... I actually genuinely thought that as a country, as a population, as people finally working together, I thought my country was improving. But, we finally convinced the churches to allow gay marriage. That is a huge thing. And it's amazing. We finally progressed. And then all of a sudden we're taking back 40 years. It's a weird thing. It's something where we have progressed so far backwards now that we now won't be able to progress forwards. All because of how backwards things are now getting. And it is... For those of you who think it's not a horrifying thought, or those who think it's not going to affect us, it will. At the end of the day, the majority of people who drive foreign cars, the majority of the people who get their chickens killed because they are trying to escape, you little bugger. Oi! Oi! So, I know I keep getting distracted by, various chicken escapes. Oh my god, chicken run. We drive foreign cars. We use foreign technology. Your iPhone. Say you voted for Leave and you did it because you want to make Britain great again. You've got to go and sell your car, your iPhone, your PC. None of that's British. The majority of the stuff we have in England, we don't make. We don't produce it. We produce it in another country, or somebody else does it, and we buy it. And this is the problem I have, is the people which have decided that they've made this huge thing of voting to leave this country do you realise what you're losing? Do you realise what has happened to this country because of that decision? That decision I'm not part of? I voted to stay, and all of a sudden I've got to deal with the consequences of other people's actions. So people are just... I'm probably going to end the video here, but I want people to go out there, and I want people to understand the seriousness of the situation. Forget all the like aftermath of all this. Forget all the people, all the economy drops, and all of the sudden money, or the lack of money that is that has come about. It's more of a thing of the realization of what has happened to us as a community, as a group of people which used to work together, and we no longer don't. It's gonna make a huge difference in the end, and sadly, I'm part of the generation which is gonna have to deal with the aftermath and the consequences. And the majority of the people that watch my videos, I know a lot of you are quite young. You don't really understand it. You don't understand the consequences of it all. But this is what this video was about. It's just trying to understand what's going to happen. And for those of you who don't know, I'm actually glad you don't, because it's horrifying and shocking, and it's not something we want to actually talk about, and it's not something I would promote to my kids. It's not something I'm ever going to be proud of, because this country has changed, and it's changed for the worst. And as you can clearly hear, it's actually quite upsetting, and it is something I'm going to have to live with. I'm going to have to live with the consequences of other people's actions. And it's a genuine scary thought. And I think on that beautiful note of genuine fear for what might happen to this world, I'm going to say thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Thank you for listening to my voice. Thank you for listening to my view and opinions. I thank you all the people which help support my channel. Everyone that gives me such great support, and who I've actually made friends with over time. I'm going to say thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to check out everybody else who does the World of Madness channel. And just so we're clear, this is my views, so there's no political views of the other World of Madness members. It's just my political view. And that's all I'm going to say about it. So thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. See you guys next time. Bye.